Dear students, in the previous video lecture of dividend decision, I have covered Walter model of dividend decision. In this present video lecture, I am going to talk about Gordon model of share valuation models. So, Gordon model, which has been given by Myron J. Gordon in 1962, is the another model of share valuation, which is based on the idea that dividend policy and value of a share are interrelated. Means डिविडेंड डिसीजन जो है वो मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ ए शेयर को प्रभावित करता है. This model is based on principle of dividend capitalization. It means that actually this model assumes that in general the investors are risk averse. Risk averse means इन्वेस्टर्स जनरली रिस्क मिनिमाइज करना चाहते हैं, वो हमेशा रिस्क को अवॉइड करते हैं एंड they would like to prefer that option which is certain as compared to uncertain option, and therefore investors prefer present dividend as compared to future dividend. So because present dividend are certain and future dividends are uncertain, and that is why investors assign higher weightage to the present dividend and lower weightage to the future dividends. Or in other words, you can say that investors जो फ्यूचर डिविडेंड है उसको ज्यादा डिस्काउंट करते हैं, यानी उसकी प्रेजेंट वैल्यू को काफी कम मानते हैं. सो this is basically essence of dividend capitalization, where basically the investors assign higher discounting factor to the future uncertain dividends. It is also the case because if the firm is not giving dividend in the present times, अगर आज प्रेजेंट समय में अगर वो डिविडेंड नहीं दे रही है, मतलब सारी अर्निंग रिटेन कर रही है, then investors may expect higher future dividends because फर्म आज वो इन्वेस्ट करेगी और उससे जो इन्वेस्टमेंट से जो रिटर्न आएंगे उससे वो फ्यूचर में हायर डिविडेंड पे करेगी. बट those higher dividends have higher discounting factor too, मतलब उसमें डिस्काउंटिंग फैक्टर भी हाई लगता है क्योंकि फ्यूचर इज अनसर्टेन. So before we go ahead, let us talk about the assumptions. The assumptions that the firm has an infinity life. Firm की life infinity है, और actually most of the assumptions are same as we have talked about in the case of Walter model. So the firm has an infinity life. The rate of return on firm's investment and the cost of capital for the firm remains constant, means R and K, and the capital is totally equity financed. Again this is same as in the case of Walter model कि जो total capital है वो सिर्फ equity financed है. Retained earnings are the only source of financing of future investment of firm. That firms are having only retained earnings as a source of any kind of future investment. उनकी फाइनेंसिंग के लिए उनके पास रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स है. देयर आर नो अदर सोर्सेज. टैक्सेस डू नॉट एग्जिस्ट. रिटेंशन रेशियो once decided remains fixed, means retained earnings as the part of earning per share, कि कितना रिटेन करेंगे अर्निंग पर शेयर का, that is known as retention ratio, and it is once decided will remain fixed for a given firm. Then growth rate of the firm is the product of retention ratio and the rate of return. यानी फर्म की जो ग्रोथ है, फर्म की जो वैल्यू की ग्रोथ है, वो सिंपली मल्टीप्लिकेशन है रिटेंशन रेशियो और रेट ऑफ रिटर्न. यानी जो रिटेंशन रेशियो है और उसका आर से मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे तो वो ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ फर्म है इस मॉडल के अनुसार. एंड द कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल इज मोर देन ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ फर्म. दैट मीन्स K, that is cost of capital, is greater than the growth rate of firm. So given these assumptions, the formula is P0. P0 is basically market price per share. At the end of the year, 0 means, because we do 0 means uh, no time, that means beginning. So you can say that P0 is the price per share in the beginning of the year. So it is just a technical term, but do not get confused. So P0 means present price per share. E1 is the earnings per share at the end of 1 year, year 1. B is the fraction of earnings the firm retains. B is also retention ratio, means the fraction of earnings the firm retains. And 1 minus B, the fraction of earnings the firm distributes by way dividends. Simply, as I told you in my previous lecture, that earnings may be distributed either in the form of dividends or it may be retained by the firm. So simply, 1 minus B, which is retention ratio, will give you the dividend ratio. So next, K is the rate of return required by the shareholders, that is cost of capital. Cap means cost of equity. फर्म के लिए वो cost of equity है. And R is the rate of return earned on investment made by the firm. And BR, this BR, remember, retention ratio multiplied by the rate of return is what? Growth rate of earnings and dividends. So let us have an example of it. One more thing, that if you see the numerator is simply E1 multiplied by 1 minus B, and 1 minus B is the dividend payout ratio, because B is your retention ratio. So if you deduct retention ratio from 1, you will get dividend payout ratio. So earning per share multiplied by dividend payout ratio, you will get dividend. So in one sense, you can say that as per the Gordon model, or as per the Gordon formula, the market value of a share is the present value of all future dividends. जितने भी future dividends हैं, उनकी present value ही आपका market price of a share है as per Gordon model. So let us have an illustration on it. So rate of return is, we have again taken different scenarios, 3 different scenarios and different retention ratios. As in the case of Walter model, we have taken 3 scenarios and different dividend payout ratios. So rate of return, we are assuming once it is 25%, then 20, and then 15%. Cost of equity, suppose we have kept remain the same, 20, 20, 20 in all these 3 scenarios. Earning per share is rupees 10. So now if B is 1, means retention ratio is 1, that means firm is retaining everything and it is not paying anything in the form of dividend. So keeping values in this formula, we found 0. The market price is 0, 0 and 0. So we are saying that when firm is retaining everything and it is not paying anything in the form of dividend throughout the life of the firm, then its market price of a share is 0. Then if B is 0.5, that if the retention ratio is 50%, means whatever is earned, 50% is kept and 50% is distributed in the form of dividend. Then if you see, then on the basis of relationship between R and K, so it is 66.67, in second scenario it is 50, in third scenario it is 40. So, and in the third case, if suppose retention ratio is 0.25, means only whatever is earned, only 25% is being retained by the firm, and 75% that means is distributed in the form of dividend. And then these are the market price of a share in different scenarios. But if B is 0, if retention ratio is 0, that means the firm is giving 100% dividend. It is not retaining anything. Then market price of share remain the same. So actually these scenarios are these three conditions: when R is greater than K, when R is equal to K, and when R is less than K. So if you see the first, when R is greater than K, then you see as the retention ratio is declining, जैसे जैसे retention ratio घट रहा है, यानी इसका उल्टा आप ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसे जैसे डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो बढ़ रहा है, यहाँ पे डिविडेंड 0 है, यहाँ पे डिविडेंड 50% है, यहाँ डिविडेंड 75% है, यहाँ पे डिविडेंड 100% है. सो जैसे जैसे डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो बढ़ रहा है, द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ अ शेयर और द मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ अ शेयर इज ऑल्सो, आप पहले सिनेरियो को छोड़ दें. वी शुड लीव दिस फर्स्ट सिनेरियो वेयर द डिविडेंड इज नॉट पेइंग एनीथिंग इन द फॉर्म ऑफ डिविडेंड. So it is also a very important finding that if you're not paying anything in the form of a dividend, then the market price of share will be 0. That means some dividend is important. You need to pay some dividend out of earnings. You cannot retain all the earnings. You need to pay some thing in the form of dividend. So this first part is an extreme situation, and we are leaving in the analysis. Just consider these three situations. So if R is greater than K, look at here, if R is greater than K, then as the dividend payout ratio is increasing, the market price of the share is decreasing. If R is equal to K, then as the dividend payout ratio is increasing, there is no impact on market price of a share. And if R is less than K, then as the dividend payout ratio is increasing, the market value of a share is also increasing. So depending upon the relationship between R and K, we are finding that there is a different impact on market price of a share of different values of dividend payout ratio. So if we try to summarize, so implications of the model are the same as the Walter model. Simply when R is greater than K, the market value of share increases as the dividend payout ratio decreases. When R is equal to K, the market value of share does not change with the change in dividend payout ratio. And when R is less than K, the market value of share increases as the dividend payout ratio increases. So now in the last lecture, when we were discussing the Walter model, then also I have asked the question and I left that question unanswered, that why is it so? What is the logic that if R is greater than K, means the rate of return on future investment is greater than cost of equity, cost of capital, then the market value of a share increases as the dividend payout ratio decreases. कि मतलब जैसे जैसे dividend payout ratio घटाते जाएंगे, market value of share बढ़ता जाएगा. Actually the answer of this finding lies in the fact that the objective of the firm is to maximize the value of the firm. कि जो फर्म की वैल्यू है उसको मैक्सिमाइज करना ही फर्म का ऑब्जेक्टिव है. एंड firm's market value will be maximized when returns on its funds will be higher. So look at here. So think from a rational perspective that if R is greater than K, that means if the firm is able to earn higher rate of return on its investment, then it is better to distribute earnings as a dividend as compared to then it is better to invest the earnings as compared to distributing them in the form of dividend. अगर आर बेहतर है, आर ज्यादा है, यानी रेट ऑफ रिटर्न जो फ्यूचर इन्वेस्टमेंट है वो कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल से ज्यादा है, तो ये फर्म के लिए ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल है कि वो अर्निंग्स को रिटेन कर ले और उसको इन्वेस्ट कर दे, सो दैट इन द फ्यूचर इट में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हायर डिविडेंड्स। एंड देयरफॉर देखिए, इसीलिए कि जैसे जैसे डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो घट रहा है, जब आर ज्यादा होता है यानी रेट ऑफ रिटर्न ऑन फ्यूचर इन्वेस्टमेंट, देन जैसे जैसे आर जैसे जैसे डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो कम होता है, यानी आप डिविडेंड कम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हो, रिटेन ज्यादा कर रहे हो, रिटेन ज्यादा करोगे तो आपको फ्यूचर इन्वेस्टमेंट पे अर्निंग्स भी ज्यादा मिलेंगी, एंड अर्निंग्स ज्यादा मिलेंगी तो आप फ्यूचर में डिविडेंड ज्यादा पे करोगे। एंड दैट इज व्हाई firm is taking the right decision, that it is retaining more and distributing less in the form of dividend, and that is why the value of firm, the market value of a share will increase with the decreasing dividend payout ratio. When R is equal to K, then that means whether it distribute in the form of dividend or whether it is investing in some other external investment opportunities by utilizing retained earnings, उससे आपका मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ शेयर पे कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि दोनों बराबर है। तो आप चाहे डिविडेंड के फॉर्म में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करें फर्म को, तब भी बेसिकली शेयर होल्डर्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें तो भी उनको उतना ही रिटर्न मिल रहा है, क्योंकि कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी फर्म के लिए जो कॉस्ट है वही शेयर होल्डर्स के लिए उतना उनका रिटर्न है। मींस फॉर फर्म द कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी इज बेसिकली रिटर्न्स टू द शेयर होल्डर्स। तो आपने अगर कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल पढ़ा है तो आपने देखा होगा कि जो कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी होती है जनरली वो डिविडेंड प्लस ग्रोथ रेट आपने देखा होगा, इन दोनों पे निर्भर करती है। So for shareholders, if rate of return on future investment is equal to K, that is cost of capital, then they are indifferent, and whether the firm is making the payment in the form of dividend or in the form of whether the firm is retaining some part of earnings, मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ शेयर पे कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ेगा, क्योंकि दोनों बराबर है और दोनों, और एक इन्वेस्टर मींस शेयर होल्डर उन दोनों को इक्वल इंपॉर्टेंस देता है, क्योंकि उसकी अर्निंग पे कोई बहुत ज्यादा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा वेदर ही गेट्स प्रेजेंट डिविडेंड और ही गेट्स द हाई फ्यूचर डिविडेंड। बट व्हेन आर इज लेस देन के, it means that rate of return on future investment is even lower than cost of equity, cost of capital. Then shareholders would prefer present dividend as compared to future dividend, because when returns are lesser than cost of capital, then that means in the future dividend will also be lower than the present dividend, and therefore shareholders would like to have higher dividend as compared to retained earnings. So, and that is why the market value of share increases as the dividend payout ratio increases, कि जैसे जैसे एक कंपनी जिसके केस में आर कम होगा के से, उस केस में आप बेसिकली वो हायर डिविडेंड पे आउट रेशियो प्रेफर करेंगे, and that is why market value of share increases with the higher dividend payout ratio. One more thing, these three scenarios also shows the stage of growth of a firm. ये तीन सिनेरियो हैं, when R is greater than K, when R is equal to K, and when R is less than K. These are basically also showing the growth stage of a firm. And you can say that there are three types of firms. One, which is a firm in a growing stage, a firm which has reached to the maturity level, and a firm which is in declining stage. So a new firm or a basically emerging firm, which is also termed as growing firm. In the case of growing firm, R is generally greater than K. R generally जो rate of return होता है उसके investment पे वो cost of equity से ज़्यादा होता है, and therefore for a growing firm it is suggested that it should retain more and distribute less in the form of dividend. Second, a matured firm means a firm which has reached to maturity, means which has crossed the growing stage and it has reached to maturity level, it has reached to the peak level. And for such a firm, generally their R is generally equal to K, means rate of return on its future investment is equal to cost of capital. So for such firms it is irrelevant whether they retain more or they retain less, and it depends upon the shareholders preference and the firm's policy. ये उनके, but for them dividend policy is irrelevant. They may decide any dividend payout ratio. And firm which are in declining stage, आपने stage of firms पढ़ी होंगी, तो जो declining stage में होती है, for those firms generally R is less than K. उनके लिए जो उनकी investments होते हैं वो उतने ज़्यादा profitable नहीं होते हैं declining firm के, and therefore for such a firms it is better if they should distribute more in the form of dividend and retain less. There is a third approach as well, which is known as traditional approach, or also known as Graham and Dodd model, given by them in 1951. And this is very basic model of dividend decision. And according to this model, the investors give more weightage or more importance to those firms which give a regular liberal dividend to its shareholders. So actually ये एक basically जो normal investors की psychology होती है उस पे based model है, and as per this model it says that investors generally give more importance and they have more preference towards those firms which give a regular dividend, जो हर साल हमेशा एक regular basis पे अपने shareholders को लाभांश देती है, dividend provide कराती है. And therefore such firms have higher demand in the market for investment purposes, and because such firms have higher demand in the market, therefore such firms also have higher market value of their share. So, and they have given a model, very basic model, although they have not given any justification for assigning weights. उन्होंने अपने मॉडल में वेट असाइन किया हुआ है रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स और डिविडेंड को, एंड डिविडेंड को ग्रेटर रोल असाइन किया है, ग्रेटर वेट असाइन किया हुआ है, बट उसके लिए कोई एम्पिरिकल एविडेंस नहीं दिया है, कोई साइंटिफिक लॉजिक नहीं है, बट दे सिंपली सेड दैट द मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ अ शेयर इज सम मल्टीपल ऑफ डिविडेंड रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स. उन्होंने यही कहा कि जो डिविडेंड एंड रिटेन अर्निंग्स है उसी का कुछ गुना, कुछ एक मल्टीपल क्या है, वो मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ शेयर होगा. एंड दे गेव हायर वेटेज टू डिविडेंड एज कंपेयर टू रिटेन अर्निंग्स. एंड दिस मॉडल इज वेरी सिंपल एंड इट इज वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. इट इज इक्वल टू P इज इक्वल टू M ब्रैकेट में अंडर ब्रैकेट D प्लस E डिवाइडेड बाय 3 एंड ब्रैकेट क्लोज. Where this M, let me talk about each of them one by one. P is the market price of a share. M is the value of common multiplier. यहाँ पे कहा ना उन्होंने कि market price of a share is some multiple of dividend and retained earnings. तो M जो है वही common multiplier है कि dividend and retained earnings का कितना गुना कितने से आप किस फैक्टर से मल्टीप्लाई कर दे कि आपका मार्केट प्राइस शेयर आ जाए, वो M है जिसे हम कॉमन मल्टीप्लायर भी बोलते हैं. एंड D इज द डिविडेंड पर शेयर. D जो है डिविडेंड पर शेयर है एंड E इज द अर्निंग पर शेयर. सो इस मॉडल को आप थोड़ा सा अगर और इसे थोड़ा सा और ओपन करें तो जो हमारा बेसिक मॉडल है P इज इक्वल टू M D, यहाँ पे हमें अर्निंग पर शेयर को डिवाइड कर दिया है डिविडेंड एंड आर में. आपको जैसे पहले भी पता है कि अर्निंग पर शेयर इज इक्वल टू डिविडेंड पर शेयर एंड रिटेन्ड अर्निंग्स पर शेयर. सो ये वही है. सो मॉडल अब क्या हो गया, दैट dividend per share plus earning per share has been divided into dividend per share and retained earnings per share. So इसी को अगर आप 3 को LCM ले लें, now this has become 3D plus 4D plus R divided by 3, and now the final formula has become 4D plus R divided by 3. So here you will find that dividend is having weightage of 4 as compared to R. अगर आप देखेंगे डिविडेंड को उन्होंने 4 गुना ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दी रिटेन अर्निंग्स के मुकाबले. सो इन एज पर देयर मॉडल द डिविडेंड हैज द वेट ऑफ 4, means the weight of dividend is 4 times higher than the weight of retained earnings. Now how to get this the value of M? So Graham and Dodd said that this M depends upon the empirical evidence, means and it differs from firm to firm. फर्म अपने पिछले कई सालों का डेटा देख ले और ऑन दैट बेसिस और देख ले कि उन्होंने कितना डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किया और कितना आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट रिटेन कितना अर्निंग्स रखा है अपने पास और क्या मार्केट प्राइस था शेयर का, और उसके बेसिस पे वो M कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. सो अ फर्म कैन ऑब्टेन दिस वैल्यू ऑफ फर्म M on the basis of previous data of market price of a share and dividend per share and retained earnings, and on the basis of that it may estimate for the future market price of a market value of a share. Actually, the main argument of the traditional approach that liberal dividend policy has a favorable impact on the market price of a share, and therefore this approach suggests that a firm should pay regular dividend to its shareholders. एक regular dividend जरूर पे करना चाहिए, and that regular dividend policy will have positive impact on market price of a share. उससे market price of a share भी लगातार बढ़ता जाएगा. So this is about Gordon model and traditional approach or Graham and Dodd model. So if you have any query, you can mail me. Thank you.